will be playing in front. Both scored goals in their last matches. On the other side, Brazil, Chichi, 9 changes to the lineup. 39-year-old Dani Alves gets a start at right back. For them, going to the midfield, Fabinho and Fred. And then an exciting front four for this Brazilian team, all under the age of 25. Take Jesus out of there, you have 21-year-old Martinelli, 21-year-old Rodrigo, and 22-year-old Anthony. They will be flying around this field and looking to get on the score sheet.
And the other game set to go is Serbia and Switzerland. That is a game with a lot of history, a lot of emotion, a lot of rivalry. We'll see how much significance it has to what is happening here, and whether we will have quite the same chaos at the end of Group G as we had earlier this evening in Group H, and as indeed we've had the last 3 nights. Beginning tomorrow evening, we get to the business end of this World Cup. We'll have eliminated half of the teams here in Qatar, and it'll be a straight shot 2 weeks from Sunday here in this building in the World Cup final as we are underway. It is Cameroon, the indomitable Lions, wearing green. It is Brazil changing from their iconic yellow to blue. Pretty straightforward tonight. Brazil knows that they are advancing with a win or a draw. They don't even have to think about the other game. They know that they will avoid Portugal and top the group and set up a meeting with South Korea Monday in the round of 16. Pretty simple for Cameroon as well if they want to advance to the knockout stage for the first time since 1990. All they got to do is beat Brazil for the very first time in a World Cup. A Brazil team that is riding a World Cup record 17 group stage games unbeaten. A Brazil team that has not been beaten in any match in a year and a half. For a Cameroon team that has dealt with some injuries and absences and controversies of their own. But again, if we've learned anything from the last couple of nights, from the last couple of hours, it is that anything is possible here at this World Cup. They're called the Indomitable Lions for a reason. Very changed up, really both lineups, especially Brazil's. What are you looking for out there tonight?
Well, I'm looking to see, as we see FIFA President Gianni Infantino watching on, and this Brazilian team, one of the favorites for the tournament. I want to see the continuity. Can they keep the foundational principles that Chichi plays with? We saw that drop off when France made a number of changes. They ended up losing to Tunisia. You look at the names that came in, much like France, absolutely stacked. Big name players, big clubs. Lovely move here early.
Today on the outside, they're running in. It's Martinelli into the middle. A second chance there. Real Jesus cycles it around. That shot easily cleared away. We'll see.
You've got to look at the speed of Rodrigo down that right-hand side. Almost cut it back and had a couple of runners crashing in front of the box.
Here they come again. Fred beaten to that one by Ebosi. The other game right now is at Stadium 974 in central Doha. Switzerland with the advantage coming in. They need only a win. A draw would be fine as long as Cameroon don't win. Serbia have to win that game, and they have to make sure Cameroon don't win. Where the night gets really interesting is if Cameroon do win, if the Swiss don't win, and then we start to get into goal differential and goals scored, and we have some real fun, as that's going to be a handball on Brian Beaumont. There, Beaumont stepping in, walked off by Alex Telles. No foul there. There's an American officiating crew tonight. Ismail El-Fath, your reigning MLS Referee of the Year. He was in charge of MLS Cup a couple weeks ago. Corey Parker and Kyle Atkins, the assistant referees from the United States this evening. Though a change, Armando Villarreal had been the video assistant referee with this crew, and he was subbed out. Fairly short notice, it appeared. Not be the VAR this evening.
Well, sloppy early on in possession from Brazil, and Cameroon getting some good pressure on the ball, not just sitting all the way back on top of their own box. A couple of sloppy passes. That one from Jesus, one earlier from Militao.
Nuhu advancing up the left, hangs up in the air from Ebosi, and that allows Dani Alves to intercept and head it away, and then a foul committed there by Gamalu.
We've seen Cameroon have some success with this throughout the tournament, though. Some of these longer, direct passes, looking for runners in behind, looking for fullbacks getting into the attack, and then playing off second balls and creating some good chances. And two very capable strikers that they're playing with today, Choupo-Moting and Aboubakar. Talked about how Aboubakar came off the bench in the last match for them, scored a goal.
Good step by Collins Fight. Fabinho winning it quickly back on his World Cup debut at the age of 29. A lot of very familiar names, particularly if you watch the Premier League on the field for Brazil. And tonight they get to answer just a fantastic barstool debate. If Brazil entered 2 teams in the World Cup, how would they do?
Very well.
Anthony, the spin on the outside. Nuhu, the foul. And this is a familiar sight from MLS. Ismail Elfas showing a yellow card to Nuhu.
Oh, lovely little roll, though, from Anthony, and he just catches Nuhu trying to cheat on the inside, and he said, I'm not getting beat. There you go. Got a couple of pieces of him. First one here, and then the right leg ends up coming back and scrapes down the back of his leg. Pretty wild challenge there from Nuhu.
Well, it's fun to see the CONCACAF Champions League winner from the Seattle Sounders getting the start on all 3 games for Cameroon at this World Cup. Olivier Baizo, the Philadelphia Union, yet to see the field. Dani Alves tonight becoming the oldest Brazilian player ever at a World Cup at the age of 39. There, and Ismail Elfas is clearly going to set a line here early as he's going to show another quick yellow card. Militao will get that one just the 7th minute.
I mean, he gets extension and catches him on the inside of the leg. I think had he not had to give Nuhu the yellow card, he might have let that one go. But evening the score there, yellow for each team.
Fred, by the way, is talking with Elfas, is the only Brazilian who would be suspended for the round of 16 if he's booked tonight. To get to that ball. Below able to keep it.
Good sequence there, passing. Cameroon shifting the ball side to side. They've got deep line playmaker Anguissa on the ball right now. Plays for Napoli in Italy, first division.
Cameroon team that narrowly lost their opener 1-0 to Switzerland. Had the wild 3-3 with Serbia on Monday. They led early. They trailed by 2 in the second half. Came from behind to get a draw. Good tackle there by Militao to bump Gamalu off it. And one of the fun stats coming in, Brazil have yet to face a shot on goal. First team at the World Cup since France in '98 to not allow a shot on goal their first 2 games. That was the France team that won the World Cup. Cameroon, meanwhile, one of the highest totals, 11 shots on goal in their first 2 games. Big tackle by Wu. Gabriel Jesus moving a little bit gingerly.
Yeah, he timed it perfectly. Clean tackle, play on. Just the touch got away from Gabriel Jesus. He was trying to turn in the middle of the field. The space is very tight in there. Militao going long.
Gabriel Martinelli was offside.
Yeah, Cameroon playing with a pretty high back line here and almost daring that ball to go in behind. So I would expect as this game goes on, you can see that the defensive line, the space is about 25 yards to where they're getting pressure on the ball, trying to stay compact, not allowing to be passed through, and then fancy their chances on some of the long balls.
Rigobert Song, legendary player from Cameroon. 46-year-old, played more games for his country than anyone else, captained them to 2 Africa Cup of Nations titles, was at 4 World Cups, charged the team in February just before a World Cup qualifying playoff against Algeria, in which they looked dead and buried, gave up a goal with 2 minutes to go in extra time in Algeria, got a goal in the 124th minute to qualify for the World Cup. That's part of this indomitable spirit that they embrace. Bomoting get on the end of that. Militao just hooks it away. Fred up to the far side. Gabriel Jesus running in, lays it off for Anthony. Is clipped in by Dani Alves and sent right back out. Fabinho trying to hold it in, and Elise Passy, we talked about, got thrown to the deep end of the pool very suddenly on Saturday. The normal starting goalkeeper Andre Onana had some sort of a shouting match with Rigobert Song at practice. He was sent home. Passy, just his 7th ever international appearance at the age of 29. Plays in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it was a pretty big drop off though. Passy led a couple in their last match that you would have expected that Onana would have saved. But that's a coaching decision, and he ultimately felt that this was the best thing for the team. Sent on a plane home, and Passy gets the opportunity and goal once again.
Scoreless in the other game between Serbia and Switzerland at Stadium 974. If nothing else happens tonight, Brazil win the group. They'll play South Korea. It'll be Portugal taking on the Swiss in the round of 16 right here at Lusail on Tuesday. Chichi sending his best wishes. Sort of conflicting reports out of Brazil whether Pele is in fact hospitalized for illness or just part of a regular checkup, but one way or the other. Chichi described him as our greatest extraterrestrial representative from Brazil. And you saw the tifo, the banner in the stands during the national anthem. Bomonte gets the flick. Militao wins the second header. Dani Alves brings it down. Fred poked away from behind. Koundé, important touch there. Anthony on the far side. Nuhu defending on a yellow card and does the job there. Just to win a free kick as he goes down, no foul. It comes from Gavalu and sort of emergency defending there. Ebosi able to break it up just in front of Gabriel Jesus. Dani Alves back for Fred. Fred clipping it in, looking back door. Goalkeeper standing off and he tips it over. That was Martinelli there, given the chance as Ebosi was able to tip it over the bar for his first save.
And Martinelli's had to be patient in this game. Not much has come down his side. Just waits. The timing of the run is very good. It's clipped up to him. It's a great looking header. And Passy gets a strong left hand to this to palm it emphatically over the bar.
Rodrigo to take the first corner of the night for Brazil. Swung in deep, and that'll be out for nothing. You talked a little bit about the individual pressure on some of these guys. We have one of the two Brazilian television networks right next to us, and we were looking on their monitor, a live feed. Not sure what city it was, but it was in Brazil. Thousands upon thousands of people watching this game.
It's religion there.
High expectation as well, and pressure to perform regardless of the scenario and the situation. A Brazil team that advantages 3 goals in the first 2 games, but a Brazil team that have just 1 loss in their last 41 group stage games since the 1970 World Cup. Martinelli around the outside. Martinelli cross took a block off Wu. Anthony resets. Elva's beaten to it by Gamalu. Nuhu able to get it clear. Boubacar done a lot of running. He's barely touched the ball so far tonight. For a Cameroon team that has to win to have any chance of advancing. For the first time since they were the first ever African quarterfinalists in 1990.
Interesting, you've got Rodrigo, who's close to getting on the ball. If Fabinho was going to give it to him, he's playing more of the Neymar role in this game. He's got a free roll. He's going to float. Right now you see him backing up, creating some space to try to create overloads. Now he's opened up the space for this run right there.
Martinelli. Back in for Rodrigo. Alex Telles, the left back. Martinelli crossing in, looking for Gabriel Jesus, headed to the top of the box. Dani Alves. And a play for Anthony. Nuhu comes out to meet him. It's going to be out for a corner.
Yeah, they're starting to put some pressure on now, Brazil. It's just their movement and unpredictability in the final third that's so difficult to defend against. So you have Rodrigo floating, comes underneath, then Martinelli takes the space. Then they're putting the ball in to the box, putting pressure on you with 4 or 5 attackers going after the ball. Out to the far side, it'll be their second corner.
And Ismail Elfas just going to hold it for a moment. Anthony swung in. Clearance there. Nuhu did enough just to sort of hack it away, and then a foul as Ramon was being wrapped up. Those they're going through, it's a matter of whether they win the group and avoid Portugal in the next round. Switzerland with the advantage as it stands. Still scoreless against Serbia, and both games kicking off at the same moment. I had a chance, elected not to chase after that, and gives Ederson something to do on his World Cup debut at the age of 29. Rotating in for Alisson at goal. He's on the roster in 2018, but did not see the field. Cameroon approaches. They have to win the game, but it is Brazil after all. What's the right way to sort of deal with it?
It's a balanced approach. I would say they're also trying not to lose the game in the first half and have it just be done with and open up. They're doing a good job when the ball is deep in Brazil's end of getting pressure on the ball. Their pressing was 6 and going at times evenly matched on the numbers. Eventually that's going to leave some space wide if Brazil can move the ball quicker, but see, they're Gisa's matching up straight away with Fabinho, and now Rodrigo's the one who drops underneath and finds. So they just continue to Brazil to drop some numbers down from the attack. But Cameroon, once again, have done a good job winning it back. Here they come.
Choupo-Moting trying to weave his way through. Almost did. Got back to it. Choupo-Moting. Boy, a ballerina than a battering ram there and all that. And couldn't get a look at goal, but Cameroon went it back high up the field. Was able to see the center back who made the big charge forward that started that sequence. Ooh, almost getting his pocket pick. High inside. Boubacar gets it away. Zambon-Gisa gets it back. Choupo-Moting on the far side. Dani Alves defending. Nuhu coming forward. Here he is. Driven cross. And enough from Edison there to punch that away from Boubacar.
What a great move. Great move from Cameroon. It started with the pressure, which they're bringing again here high up the field. But good passing sequence. Good close control. Able to spin and move. Work that back line for Brazil. And good decision-making in the final third, too. They had an overlapping run from Nuhu, about 30 yards. Choupo-Moting played him in and narrowly away from finding the opener.
Not the news they wanted from the other game, though. Xherdan Shaqiri of the Chicago Fire, who scored the winning goal
again
between the teams 4 years ago, has scored for Switzerland against Serbia.
I'm sure he celebrated that calmly, too.
So that was what happened 4 years ago. He made the double eagle hand gesture of Albanian heritage. It depends on your point of view. Again, you have warfare, you have that ethnic tension. It was incredibly inflammatory to Serbian fans and Serbian media. He got fined for it. It was a very emotional night 4 years ago. It might well be again tonight, as Shaqiri has the goal for Switzerland that as of now makes this irrelevant from a Cameroon standpoint. They need Switzerland not to win that game to have a chance. Here's Martinelli around the outside. Cross sent in by Alex Telles. Knocked down and hooked over by Fred. And did take a deflection. It'll be a corner for Brazil.
Well, another ball in from deep, and here they are. Fred makes the run to the near post, so they're 2v2 in the box now. Hard for Nuhu to seize it late, doesn't get a great clearance on it. It bounces straight to Fred, who's leaning back. I'm not sure would that have been on target anyways, but it took the slightest of touches and out for another Brazilian corner.
Swung in by Rodrigo and sliced right back out. Again, look at near post collision there. Choupo-Moting slips, and that'll end up as a goal kick. Infantino, FIFA president, looking on, checking the score of the other game. As Brazil continue to top the group, where this would get interesting is if Cameroon do take the lead, even though they would not be able to advance if Switzerland are winning. You see that goal differential number there. There is a possibility that it ends up flipped. If Switzerland is a big win, if Brazil loses the game and the goal differential can flip itself, you'd be talking about a Brazil-Portugal round of 16 on Monday.
That would be tasty.
Take it back. That would be Tuesday's game in Lucé. On Monday is South Korea, who had that just incredible moment a couple hours ago. 90+1. Hwang Hee-chan, the winning goal to send them through the expense of Uruguay. So they will play the winner from this group in 3 days' time at Stadium 974. That's part of the calculation for Brazil. It's a very short turnaround for them against a Korea Republic team that left a lot of themselves on that field just to qualify. That's going to be a foul. Is in some pain, gingerly getting back to his feet right now.
This was that earlier chance. Great run. And the blind cutback ball, you see as Choupo-Moting that run coming over your shoulder, and you know just to lay it off so he can hit it first time. The ball was good from Nuhu, but it was Ederson who chooses not to stay on his line but be more aggressive there and comes out and just able to palm that cross away before it was tapped in at the back post.
Martinelli on Collins 5. Martinelli to the byline fight, stepped in, couldn't get there. It's blocked. Gabriel Jesus, as Wu got a foot in the way. Fabinho holds it in and resets. Gabriel Jesus, little flick around the corner. Fabinho forced backwards. Alex Telles sends the cross in. Anthony not going to get there. Nuhu heads away. Fred from Dani Alves. Anthony now going to run a Nuhu. Anthony clipping that one in. Wu got enough on that. Martinelli was trying to sneak in. It's another Brazil corner.
There's such difficult crosses to defend when you've got a guy cutting across the box. You're trying to step your line out and get pressure. You're defending back towards your own goal. You've got 2 or 3 attacking players off your shoulder. These are tough ones to deal with, and got just enough. They're going to play it short. He's going to shoot.
Reset for Anthony. Sends it in. Sent right back out by Collins Fight. Gabriel Jesus. In for Rodrigo. The return, even as Fight slipped, was mishit. Boy, they wanted the early ball there. Bumo was running. He thought he had an angle to go. It's going to be a foul as Koundé goes down.
Yeah, Bumo is still having conversations with Koundé after that. He felt that he was in, and he was 1v2, but he made a great run. Ends up being a foul from Fabinho behind the play, stopping his ability, but he took too many touches there.
Neymar amongst the 3 Brazilians with Danilo Alexandro not dressed for the game tonight with injury.
He looked in better spirits though, didn't he, before the game? Walking around, probably making a point of showing people that he was walking around. Not sure of the status of his ankle.
Question is, does he play Monday against South Korea? Do you feel like if you're Brazil, you can get through that game without him? Give him an extra week by the end.
Have you watched this World Cup so far?
That's the calculation.
Take nothing for granted. They would go into that game as a huge favorite, of course, but yeah, I mean, this is part of the conversation about this game today. And watching this Brazilian team, you get a look at a whole new front line, showing well so far, but still lacking that cutting edge.
Zambongi saw it. Part of this movement here. Kamalu has it wide, just kept it in play. Dani Alves defending, in for Abubakar, trying to turn, returns into the middle. It's too close to Fabinho there, looking for Kamalu. We'll see sprints across to keep it in for Cameroon. Serbia have tied the game. Alexander Mitrovic has scored. That's good news for Cameroon. It puts them back into things if they can find a way to win. 5, picking the pocket of Martinelli, and it runs out. We're going to open up the round of 16 tomorrow. The United States against the Netherlands, then Lionel Messi and Argentina take on Australia. Coverage begins tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Set your alarms, West Coast. Tomorrow on Fox.
Or if you have kids, you'll be up anyways.
On the run, Rodrigo, and the second attempt to get him.
That should be a yellow.
Free kick coming, Brazil in a great shooting position. Pierre Koundé gets the yellow.
Yeah, he was trying not to foul him, but then in the end had to foul him because Rodrigo was shaping up for the shot, and he also had a couple of options for the pass. Great work from him, good speed to get away initially from Koundé, and then he's smart. He drives across him, and that draws the foul at the end because he puts Koundé in a position where either he has to foul him or he has to let him go. Ends up going for the foul, and now it'll be a set-piece opportunity where normally Neymar would shoot from. Which of the 3 Brazilians right now standing over it?
It was 4. Anthony got kicked out of the meeting.
Looks like Fred's getting kicked out of the meeting now. Telles or Rodrigo? Rodrigo draws the foul, and I would imagine he's sizing this up, having a good season for Real Madrid this year in La Liga, Spain's top division.
Passy getting himself set. One save made. Made 3 saves in the 3-3 draw with Serbia in their last game. Dani Alves has joined the chat. So it's Rodrigo or Alex Telles or Dani Alves. Just shy of the half-hour mark here at Lusail. Rodrigo blocked by the wall. Bremer trying to reset for Martinelli, and it will run all the way out.
Not the best of strikes. Good solid wall though from Cameroon. Everybody stuck together and ended up jumping to get the height, but poor strike. Didn't get enough height on it to get it up and over the wall to even give it a chance against Passy.
What are those chats like over a free kick? And in the next one, if Rodrigo comes in, or hey, remember the last one, go away.
It varies. You know, you're talking about strategy. You're talking about the different options. You're talking about where the wall's set. What does the keeper do and his tendencies? And then sometimes it just comes down to seniority over who gets to take it. I mean, I remember taking one that I was told by a fellow teammate to hit it in a certain way, and I hit it another way and put it about 10 feet over the crossbar and got absolutely chewed out for it. So last time I had that, or just didn't have those conversations and did what I wanted.
30 minutes gone here at Lusail. 30 minutes gone at Stadium 974 as well, where Serbia have come back to tie Switzerland. Alexander Mitrovic, who also scored in the 2-1 Switzerland win between the teams in the last World Cup. Jared Shaqiri of the Chicago Fire put Switzerland up. Switzerland still going through. Serbia need to win to have a chance. That tying goal for Serbia keeps Cameroon alive. They would have to win this game, and then we get into the calculations. But we've seen some wonderful chaos at the end of the group stage at this World Cup over the last couple of nights. Against a Brazil team that already knows they're going through and changing out almost their entire lineup. Rodrigo from Gabriel Jesus on the run, and he's chopped down by Collins Fye.
And he's going to get a yellow. I mean, some of these tackles are pretty dangerous. Coming from behind like that and feet off the ground when a guy's streaking away, it's a tactical foul, a heavy tactical foul, and in essence probably saves a goal here. Rodrigo, great skill in tight space, a little combination pass with Gabriel Jesus in the middle of the field, and then Collins Fye comes in at the end and just cleans him out completely and gives another set piece opportunity. So kind of what you were talking about earlier, John, is let's see what happens this time. Does Rodrigo get another crack at this, or is it going to be one of his teammates?
Fye was shown a yellow card in Cameroon's opener against Switzerland, so he would be suspended if they advance to the round of 16. But now you got both the left and the right back sitting on a yellow card. And
now you've got the elder statesman, 39-year-old Dani Alves. 8 goals in his 125 appearances for Brazil. He also can hit that knuckler from these set pieces. So watch his run up here to see if that's what he's going to go for, and just try to hit a little knuckleball where he hits right through the middle, kills the spin on it, and it has moving towards goal. Sizing up the wall though right now to see which technique he wants to go with.
Rodrigo will walk away. Alex Telles is over it as well. Passy set.
This feels like more over the wall to the near side.
Dani Alves over the wall, over the bar.
Yeah, went with the shorter run up, a little bit more angled, which shows you that he's trying to shape it and just curl it, bend it over the top of the wall. Ends up hitting just a little bit too much, doesn't get over it.
And there's Roberto Carlos on the left. That is who is now tied with Dani Alves. 125 appearances. Second most in Brazil's history behind Cafu. Neymar, by the way, is going to blow past all of them in that record book. And that was Ronaldo. Or as Thierry Henry once said to us, the real Ronaldo.
Phenomenal Ronaldo.
Ronaldo Nazario, the hero of the 2002 World Cup. Last time Brazil lifted the greatest trophy in sports. Cameroon still in this. They cut that one back. Bumo was intercepted. On the run is Eder Militao, the center back. Anthony on Nuhu. Nuhu defending on a yellow card. And Nuhu does the job. Serbia have taken the lead. Vlahovic, 35th minute. Serbia has come from behind to lead Switzerland. That's a reverse of what happened 4 years ago when Serbia scored early and Switzerland came from behind to win. So 2-1 right now. Serbia leading Switzerland in the other game in Group G.
That's big time for them. Just having that strike force on the field. Vlahovic kind of came in a little bit injured, banged up. Didn't start the first match. Both of them start today. Both of them score goals.
Gabriel Martinelli into the middle. Ran away from Rodrigo. Up in Choupo-Motingo. Boubacar racing up to his left. Fabinho and Alex Telles able to knock it away.
I mean, this is part of the reason we talk about Brazil being so good defensively there. And it's not the defending in and around their goal. It's also the defending high up the field. So that time, Choupo-Moting trying to break away, trying to get a transition opportunity when they have open field and numbers around the ball, they win it back.
So Serbia right now are advancing from this group courtesy of their win as it stands against Switzerland. Cameroon, if they can get a goal, would draw level, and it would be goal differential at that point between those two teams. So still a chance for this to get very interesting until and unless Brazil actually take the lead. Anthony went flying there as Nuhu spun it around. Good defensive work by Gabriel Jesus to win it back. As it stands, Serbia, Portugal Tuesday, Brazil, Korea Monday. Advantage being played. Reset wide. Anthony saved and held by Epasi.
Collins Fye is going to get a little warning, a little talking to there from Ismail Fath, your referee, because he almost, that was another foul from him. Breaking away, Martinelli doing a good job coming inside. They're getting the looks that they want wide. You see, he lost his boot in the process and still able to get the pass off. No boots, no problem. But, and this is the other, you see Nuhu there, can't be as aggressive in the challenge. He's often 1v1. He's on the yellow card. Both fullbacks for Cameroon on yellow cards, meaning they can't play as aggressively defensively without potentially picking up a second and a red card.
That's Collins Fye, who's down right now as well. That would theoretically be Olivier Bizo of the Philadelphia Union.
Just stands on the back and then he gets spun around and comes off worse for wear.
So meanwhile, the Cameroon players have come over to the bench talking with the coaching staff. Great group of Cameroon fans behind them, making some noise because they know with Serbia leading, a Cameroon goal would put Cameroon in position to advance. A lot has to happen between now and then, but that would be the situation if Cameroon were to find a goal.
This was that header from Martinelli early in the game that forced the save from Epassi, just palmed it over the bar. It was the best look we've had, really. A lot of possession, a lot of corners, a lot of half chances for Brazil as Ederson's getting his cleats tightened, I think, in the back. Not sure he'll need him much today.
Samuel Eto'o there, not only the all-time record goal scorer for Cameroon, he's the president of the federation. So he was the one that was a part of hiring Rigobert Song, his former teammate, as the head coach. I say part because he was also the president of Cameroon who was involved in that decision. As you see the standings right now, if Cameroon were to go ahead, they'd be on 4 points and they would have a 0 goal differential. So they would be ahead of Serbia, in position to advance with Brazil to the next round. 5 minutes to go. Collins Faye is back out there, a little bit banged up, playing on a yellow card. Promoting the flick, a little bit of hesitation there. Militao will shepherd it back to Ederson. Trying to get Fred going, trying to get Brazil going right now. This has already been Africa's, by one definition, best ever World Cup. 6 wins for African teams, more than any prior World Cup. 2 teams that have advanced to the next round, Senegal and Morocco. That match is the most ever from 2014. Follows the 2018 World Cup where all 5 African teams went out of the group stage. Could Cameroon join them? Could this be the best ever World Cup for Africa? Abubakar trying to lift that one in, and it's going to work in the end. Bremer there cushioning it back to Ederson as Bumo was trying to sneak in. Nuhu back to defend on Anthony. Rodrigo for Fred. Return for Fabinho, cleared away by Faye. Choupo-Moting couldn't quite body up there with Militao.
Cameroon still without a shot on goal or an attempt on goal. Brazil still yet to face that, although Ederson did have some work to do on that cross that came from Nuhu.
We saw this to a certain extent with France-Tunisia, right? France were already through. They rotated their whole team. Tunisia won that game. They ended up going through because they didn't get the right result in the other game, as that's going to be a foul. But it is kind of a funny scenario when you have one team that, in one sense, doesn't have anything to play for, in air quotes.
And have rotated so many players. Now, your instinct would tell you, and this was that header. What a great recovery header there from Bremer. Just how confident is he, too? Just casual. I'm actually not sure he knew where that went when it popped off top of his head. It's going to give him a lot more credit for that. But yeah, I mean, your instincts would tell you, look, these guys are all fighting. For minutes, they want to play. They want to make sure that they're in the conversation for starting going forward. The other side of that is the starting 11 typically for Brazil was a lot of the guys that played consistently throughout qualifying. So these guys have reps. They have an understanding of the positions. And then you make 9 changes. You throw a bunch of guys in there, all supremely talented. You're just not seeing the same cohesiveness.
Rodrigo too far for Anthony.
And then also not still having, as you said, John, just that same sense of urgency, knowing that you don't have to win this game. A draw is enough for you to win the group.
It's a Cameroon team. It should be noted both of their starting center backs out injured tonight. One of their starting midfielders out injured, and we mentioned the goalkeeping change they've had to make. Nuhu heads it forward. Doesn't reach Abubakar. Fred clipped over the top. Brought down by Wu. See, trying to cushion that one in. And Ramon couldn't keep it in play. Down for a throw. So it remains 2-1 for Serbia in the other game. That's enough to see Serbia go through. A Switzerland goal would put them back in. Kick Serbia out. A Cameroon goal, and Switzerland have just scored. As I was saying that. So the Swiss are back in. Serbia are out. Cameroon can still keep themselves in the conversation. If they were to get a goal, Briel Embolo, who scored for the Swiss against Cameroon in the open. Remember, he didn't celebrate because he's born in Cameroon. Moved to Switzerland as a 6-year-old. Neymar getting a nice little cheer from the fans. So a wild one right now at Stadium 974, which we would have expected between those two teams and simmering rivals from their meeting 4 years ago, as we will have 4 added minutes here at Lusail. A handball on Christopher Wu.
Cameroon have Olivier Baizo warming up on the side. Wonder if we maybe see him as a second half sub, potentially for Collins Fye.
Who heads that away. Martinelli holds it in. Fye got to be careful. Martinelli weaving across, and his shot tipped over. It looked like Epassi was trying to catch that. Might have slipped through his hands. Ends up out for a corner.
Well, Arsenal fans and Premier League fans will see this week in, week out. This guy is just lightning with the ball at his feet. Feels like he's quicker with the ball at his feet than without, and so good on the dribble, can get defenders off balance. That time he's a little off balance going back and can't quite generate enough power to go back the other way. And then Passi has to make the save over the bar, and it'll be another Brazilian corner. Haven't found a way through yet, though, with some of those big targets. If they can get free Militao right there, he's the big man.
Sixth corner played short. Rodrigo off the outside netting.
Yeah, they try to pull everybody away to the back post and create some space there at the near post. Looking for Rodrigo, he was just trying to shape it to redirect it on target. Ends up being right into the side netting.
10th shot of the night for Brazil. Cameroon still yet to register a shot. But Cameroon are still a goal away. If they were to take the lead, they would be advancing on goals scored. They would have the same goal differential. So Switzerland in right now, but Cameroon are still right in this thing. Zambongisa trying to get away from Fred, and he has. Choupo-Moting. Wide it goes. Gamalu running it down. He almost got the cross in. Back post. What a save by Anderson. Bumo thought he had scored. Knew who wins it back. That's the first save by a Brazilian goalkeeper the whole tournament. Great work by Gamalu. Did he go down? He did go down. Was there contact is the question. At the edge of the box, no foul. Wu stepping forward, just plays safe and out.
Well, I mean, here's the life of a Brazilian goalkeeper. You barely touch the ball, and then when you do, you have to come up with a big save. Good ball across. And this is a difficult one. Watch. Bumo heads it down into the ground. It skips off the ground. That's going in the far post, and it's just a quick reaction with the right hand to make a terrific save and push that away. Tellez had come inside, and that freed him up at the back post. Good looking move again for Cameroon down that left-hand side. They're getting in down Dani Alves' side, using good, quick, incisive passing, and then the crossing has been good too, giving them a chance.
227 minutes, so that's 2.5 games that Brazil has played in this World Cup without allowing a shot on goal until just then. And Ederson getting the start tonight in his World Cup debut, making a huge save, significant. Not not just for the sake of Brazil, but for the sake of Switzerland right now. Final seconds of the half. 2-2 in the other game. No score here. And a wild second half coming in the conclusion to Group G. We're going to send you back to Rob Stone and the Corniche and our set. 45 minutes down, 45 to go up here at Lusail. No Nkulo, he flicked it on. He's out injured tonight as well. It's a brand new center back battery for Cameroon. It's sent in, and boy, two bodies crashing in. One of them is down. There's a man down for Brazil right now. Alex Telles, the left back, is in for the injured Alexandro.
I think he gets caught by, takes a pretty heavy landing. Where does the contact come from? Is it, he ends up landing, gets undercut by Anguissa, and then Ismael Fast summoning the trainers on to have a look at him here.
Well, Alexandro, the left back for Brazil, suffered a hip injury in the last game against Serbia, so he's one of the 3 absentees tonight.
And they're checking his right leg right now.
Chichi looking on. It's part of the concern for Brazil. They've got a couple guys banged up. Yes, they have a ridiculous amount of depth, but they've got a shorter turnaround than other teams have had. Normally you're playing every 4 days at this World Cup. They're going to play again in 3 days on Monday as it stands against South Korea, who advanced with that stoppage time winning goal earlier. Switzerland have scored moments into the second half. Remo Freuler giving the Swiss a little bit of breathing room, as a draw was enough for them as long as Cameroon don't win. So Cameroon now not only would need a goal here, but they would need some help from that game. Boubacar on the end of it, and Eder Militao just bumps him off and out for a goal kick, as Alex Telles has stayed out there. That was not the news Cameroon were hoping for from the other game. The challenge now is that even if Serbia score again to tie the game at 3, that equals out the other tiebreakers. Switzerland would still be advancing over Cameroon as a result of head-to-head. Because the goal differential be the same, the goal scored would be the same. Next tiebreakers head-to-head. Switzerland beat Cameroon last Thursday 1-0. They got to keep playing and hope for some help. Might be offside here. Zembo Anguissa hooks back the cross. Collision of bodies, comes to the far side. Bumo trying to lay it in. A Boubacar just wide. Ederson full stretch there.
You're right, there was a slight question maybe for an offside on Anguissa, but I think he was onside. Comes across, Boubacar ends up taking the strike, and actually as he was making a play to try and defend that one, Telles has gone back down. Just cuts too far across. He's trying to pick off that far post because Anderson had gotten across, had the near post. This is a slight concern for Brazil, as you talked about, was Alexandro out. We talked a lot about their roster selection and the numbers in which they had 9 forwards on their roster. So they're going to bring on a center back, it seems. And a couple of their center backs are comfortable playing in wide positions. We see Militao, who really is an out-and-out center back. Sometimes he plays as a right back for Brazil.
They'll be adding quite a bit of stoppage time as well to this second half. We'll see whether it becomes relevant or not as Group G is decided, but the concern right now is Brazil putting together a back 4 for the rest of this game and for Monday's round of 16 game. It's the original one.
And he's holding his right leg, so is it just that contact there and then when he lands on the ground too?
And it looks like Brazil are going to make 4 substitutions at once right now. I see 4 blue shirts down there.
What do you call that? Line change?
That is aggressive. That's actually more than a line change. So Alex Telles, that'll be a concern going forward for Brazil. Cameroon right now need to score twice unanswered. They would need to win by 2 goals to have a chance to go through. And Rodrigo almost fell for Gabriel Jesus. And it's going to, well, eventually covered up. Epassi had to get his own defenders out of the way there.
It just came off a long ball. Gabriel Jesus gets good positioning to be able to bring it down and bring his players into play. And then he goes with a pretty aggressive challenge into Epassi, which, give Ismail Alfa some credit there. Sometimes you see that whistle that felt like a fair challenge. The ball popped up on the second one, and then he's able to gather it in.
Just to clean that up, it would require a Serbia equalizer as well. So Cameroon right now, their pathways, they got to score twice unanswered. They need to see Serbia score a goal. All they can control is what's in front of them. Zambo Anguissa. Nuhu crossing in, took a deflection, cleared away by Bremer. Long Abubakar sneaking it behind, brings it down to Eder Militao, forced to cycle it around. All the way back out, Koundé. He's their set piece taker. He's firing that one, and it's all the way through.
Well, he's going to stand up. Wild decision in the end because they were creating some pressure. Abubakar's running and movement off the ball has been good. He's getting in behind. It's allowing them to stretch the field a little bit, get some territorial advantage, and then this strike is well up and over. As Marquinhos comes in, let's see how this shuffles the back. Does he end up going out as a left back?
He, with the age of 33, Bruno Guimaraes, who played the last half hour against Switzerland, all on the field for Brazil. So just the 3 changes in the end. Everton Ribeiro, a really neat story. Number 22, 33 years old, 2-time Brazilian Player of the Year back in 2013 and 2014. Made his Brazilian debut all the way back then. He was a 25-year-old. He ended up taking an opportunity to go play in the United Arab Emirates. Went 5 years without a call-up for Brazil. Returned to Brazil professionally. Won a Copa Libertadores, was a best 11 in that competition. It's just one back, and chance here. Zambo Anguissa trying to get a cross in. Was closed down there by Fabinho before he could do so. And Everton Ribeiro returned to the Brazilian setup last year at Copa America, and he's on the field now at a World Cup for the first time in his career. It's Gabriel Martinelli on the run. Wu trying to slow him down. Martinelli saved. Epassi, 4th save of the game, out for a corner.
No, let's give Epassi some credit. We talk so much about, well, Onana's out. He conceded 3 against Switzerland. He's been up to the task, against Serbia rather. He's been up to the task here. Some really good saves. The best 2 saves of the game against Martinelli. But that is a concern. It's also a sign of, I think, what you're going to see. Cameroon opening this game up a little bit, and the space starting to open up now in transition for Brazil, which is look out. And Martinelli was off to the races there, used his speed, came close to opening the scoring.
7th corner of the game. Anthony in swinging ball. Good solid header out by Abubakar, but it's held in by Everton Ribeiro. Resets the cross, bouncing through. Save Epassi into the second one as well as it was spinning in behind him. Eder Militao, it looked like, had the attempt. Epassi once again equal to it.
It's another really good save because this strike, you'll see, it comes through bodies. He's got bodies in front of him. 4 or 5 of them. Look at that. He sees it late, has to react. It's an awkward one. It's at an awkward height. Be able to get his body behind it, and then it scrambles across.
Does he get 2 saves for that?
Let's give him to him.
5 saves officially tonight. 8th Brazilian corner. Header out by Koundé. Now can Cameroon break? Choupo-Moting got caught up in the spokes. Can he get the pass away? Yes, but not to a green shirt. Dani Alves, he ends up getting chopped down by Gamalu. Brazil want to go quick. They're tired of this. They want to lead. They want a goal. Across it comes to Anthony, and that's pushed away. Epassi playing safe there.
Yeah, you did. He's a little frustrated because you'll see this one is pretty far wide of the posts. Maybe he just wanted to up that shot, that save count in the after all. But he was frustrated when he got up and he looked where his post was and that was going behind. Let's see if that ends up being of consequence.
Now Wojciech Szczesny put on a show the other night for Poland. In swinging corner, popped right in front. It's cleared
he hit
away.
The post too.
Epassi is down.
Yeah, he's going up at the back post, and you heard that smack. Wow.
And the training staff are sprinting out right now.
Yeah, listen to this. At the end of this play, he's got Bremer challenging with him. Oh, it's his back. Ends up being his back. Not that that's going to feel any better, but oh, boy, yeah. Solid contact with the post.
The only other goalkeeper they have is a particular challenge to those of us who shout out last names for a living. Simon Ngapandu at Netbo.
This was the one they gave Mo on the when they were pronunciation practice. That one comes through traffic, and what a game he's having. Good for him. What a great rebound game as well, and seizing an opportunity given to him by whatever rift went on between Onana and Rigobert Song. There's another look at the other save he had on Martinelli coming inside, and he's trying to pick out that far post.
And relief right now on the face of all of our colleagues in the media tribune and television and radio broadcasters around the world as Epassi will continue. Dani Alves whistled for that foul. 6 saves. Davis Epassi. And a reminder, the round of 16 begins tomorrow. The United States against the Netherlands, then Lionel Messi and Argentina take on Australia. Coverage starts at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific tomorrow morning on Fox. Can the United States, for just the second time ever, advance in the knockout round and play in a World Cup quarterfinal? Kunde takes the free kick. Header gets knocked down toward Choupo-Moting, but cleared away. Bongisa. That's going to be a foul. Coming over the back of Gabriel Jesus. And the reason that second game tomorrow is significant, if the United States were to advance, they would play the winner of Argentina-Australia in a quarterfinal here at Lusail next Friday. So the potential for the United States to be playing Lionel Messi on a Friday afternoon, a World Cup quarterfinal. Dani Alves got caught up there. Anthony and Dani Alves helped to win it back. Ribeiro couldn't turn cleanly. Anthony spins through one, spins around a third time, because why not? Dani Alves cross, flicked along by Wu, cleared out of there by Bumo.
That brought the crowd to life a little bit. Anthony just dancing on it, and you see the ball recovery time as well. That's how just quickly Brazil put the pressure on you when they turn the ball over.
Everton Ribeiro poked away that pass. It was actually meant for Anthony. Kamalu. This is Nuhu. "30 minutes to go here. 30 minutes to go at Stadium 974, where Switzerland continue to lead Serbia. Back and forth game. Each team has led. As it stands, Switzerland advancing with Brazil. It'll be the Swiss against Portugal Tuesday here at Lusail. In the round of 16, it'll be Brazil against South Korea Monday at Stadium 974. And that will be the bracket set here at the World Cup. about to go to their bench for the first time. It's wide to Gabriel Martinelli. Brazil know they're advancing. There is a potential question whether they go through as group winners or runner-up. Anthony inside for Dani Alves. Bruno Guimaraes by one, by two. Gabriel Jesus. Marquinhos rolled wide. Gabriel Martinelli off the chest of the defender. Acrobatic clearance, Zambo Anguissa. Aboubakar's fouled.
Some good pressure from Brazil. They're starting to really play with more of an intensity, moving the ball quicker, more incisive. Decision making has been better, but yet to find that breakthrough yet. This becomes an important period for Cameroon, and also you're starting to ask the question now. You got to go for it.
Ryan Mubo had that header saved in first half. Stoppage time will come off. Carl Toko Ekambi, he was the hero. He scored the 124th minute goal in the World Cup qualifying playoff against Algeria in March that got Cameroon here to the World Cup. Gabriel Jesus will make way for a World Cup debut for Pedro. 25 years of age, plays in Brazil. Top scorer at the Copa Libertadores. Coming off a career-high 29 goals this year. And just the same as we in the U.S. get really excited. If you get an MLS-based guy on the field for your country, it's fun. You want to see the guys based in your own country. The same is true in Brazil. So it's exciting to see Pedro, along with Everton Ribeiro, both based with Flamengo, won the Copa Libertadores. That's the South American equivalent of the Champions League. On the field for Brazil at the World Cup. Dani Alves trying to clip it forward. Pedro, would it be his first touch? Epassi is there. Pedro's first touch, able to knock it down for Martinelli. Marquinhos wants it through, it's too far.
That's just been the difference tonight for Brazil, and why I feel they haven't found a way through. It's just that lack of execution still in the final third. And look, we did talk about the fact that they came into this game with all the attacking talent, a whole star-studded lineup, 9 forwards on the roster, 3 goals. And it makes you think more about how much they miss a guy like Neymar still. And you ask me, okay, well, is he ready for the next match? I don't know.
Does he need to be?
Does he need to be, rather, yeah. I would say based on this evidence, they could do with having him out on that field. I still think they have enough to go without him, but not when you start getting past that round of 16.
Did Gabriel Jesus do anything particular to make an argument for Chichi to be in that starting lineup Monday?
Didn't score a goal. I mean, look, Richarlison's the guy who's been starting and has 2 goals so far, so I would say no. What a great option to have off the bench. What a great player. Some of his hold-up play was good, but yet didn't really find himself in spots in front of goal to put one in the back of the net.
"25 minutes to go. Switzerland going through as it stands. The pathway for Cameroon remains. They need to win this game 2-0. And they need Serbia to score a tying goal. Serbia, meanwhile, they need to come from behind and win against Switzerland if they want to advance. With 25 minutes to go in that one. Choupo-Moting blocked off by Bremer as he was trying to play the pass. Bruno Guimaraes picks it up. Pedro coming forward. Pedro in his World Cup debut. It's Everton Ribeiro. In fact, it's a terrific tackle in the end. And we'll see. Now a long ball to the far side. Brought down. Blue is on that far side now. Choupo-Moting cut off. Good work by Bruno Guimaraes to make the run back.
Everton Ribeiro still down in the box after that challenge. We're going to stop play to let him receive some treatment. But again, it was Cameroon starting to put some numbers into the attack. They give the ball away in a bad spot in the middle of the field. It allowed them, Brazil, to break away. You had a nice run inside that opened up the space wide. And then an absolutely crunching tackle coming in at the end of this. Clean one. Strong one.
Another change on the way. Here Koundé, their set piece taker, is off. Olivier Cham is on. It's his World Cup debut, just his 4th appearance for Cameroon at the age of 26. Former Manchester City youth team player. Now it's Swansea in the Championship, 2nd division. We would say in English soccer, but of course they're in Wales, so.
Yeah.
As Ted Lasso once said, how many countries are in this country? Cameroon need to score twice unanswered. They need to get word of a Serbia goal in the other game for them to pull off the miracle, which it would be, and advance for the first time since 1990. As we count the clock ever closer, tomorrow 6 p.m. here in Qatar, the United States and the Netherlands beginning the round of 16 as Aboubakar's fouled, and well, they want to go quickly. Now the Cameroon players were looking.
And good news for U.S. fans, which was confirmed earlier. Christian Pulisic confirmed fit and available for that game. So after going off at halftime, being the hero, scoring the winning goal against Iran, that's a big boost for that team. Still waiting to find out Josh Sargent, his status and availability, up against the Dutch team, which seems to have their own issues going on in their camp too.
Reports in the Dutch media today of issues with the flu, which apparently have gone through a couple different teams here in Qatar. But Frankie de Jong, one of the most important players, reportedly might be one of the players that is dealing with the flu right now. Coverage beginning at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Live here on Fox. Good luck sleeping tonight for any of us. Cooper Moting trying to find his way through, and Militao was able to get it away. And foul coming over the back there of Vincent Aboubakar. Cameroon running out of time. 20 minutes. Brazil, as it stands against South Korea, had their dramatic 90+1 come from behind win over Portugal to get them in the expense of Uruguay earlier this evening. Fantastic finish to Group H. But a very short turnaround for Brazil. A game coming up on Monday, for that matter, short turnaround for South Korea. Switzerland, as it stands, playing Portugal on Tuesday. They were both against one another twice in a row in June, part of the same UEFA Nations League group. So some recent experience against one another. Here's Anthony on Nuhu. And Nuhu just cleans him out. See you later.
He gave him the see you later too. Big wave of the hand.
Marco Akambi, the substitute, was trying to do the runaround on Dani Alves and couldn't get through. Pedro fouled by Wu. Bruno Guimaraes quickly on the run. Pedro sprinting forward. Pedro has it now. Sandwiched, cut off. Fahey gets it clear. Getting right back though. Dani Alves. Anthony. Wide for Everton Ribeiro. Returns. Anthony tight corners. And Everton Ribeiro had to let it go there. Knew it was offside.
Guimaraes and Anthony, along with Everton Ribeiro, playing a little three-man game in the corner, just trying to pass it in the back of the net. Good tackle, though, at the end. This is what Cameroon have done well all game long, is getting pressure and challenges on the Brazilian players when they get in and around the box, and they're trying to get that last shot off, stepping in front, making the challenge once again. And this one still scoreless, so keeping Brazil off the score sheet is quite a feat. Still got 19 plus probably a big number of stoppage.
We had a long injury for Alex Telles early in the second half. Everton Ribeiro bounced back to him from Pedro. Gabriel Martinelli couldn't pick it up. Marquinhos, clever first touch. Collins Fahey cuts him off on the second. And it's still in play. Marquinhos held it in. in. Martinelli into the middle. Guimaraes into the stands.
Well, this is your center back now playing left back, Marquinhos, who, it has to be said, is one of the most comfortable defenders on the ball. Sometimes you see him playing in the midfield for Paris Saint-Germain. Does so well there, keeping that ball in line, walking the tightrope, cuts it back, get it to the top of the box. Guimaraes wanted to make an impact here, and that one just pops up on him. And as he strikes it, has a little contact on the follow-through, but still, again, that was the pressure on the top of the box from Cameroon.
Militao is going long for Martinelli to chase. Martinelli got there, couldn't keep it for himself though. And then he commits the foul. Minutes to go in both games. Still Switzerland lead 3-2 south of us at Stadium 974. Will Neymar be available with his ankle injury Monday? Fans reacting to seeing him on the video boards here at Lusail Stadium. And if you're South Korea and you're watching this, do you fear playing Brazil Monday in the round of 16, even though it'll be a very different Brazil?
You always fear playing Brazil. They are the chance, but look, that South Korean team will be rolling full of confidence.
Well, you just said they're going to fear. Are they going to fear Brazil or be full of confidence?
Yes, of course. They can have confidence in themselves, but you face Brazil in a World Cup, there's always that bit of fear in the back of your head. This is the favorite of the tournament. And they've cakewalked their way through this group. I know they've scored 3 goals, and this game is what it is. They did the work in the first 2 games.
Chamu came on as a substitute. Flicked on by Nuhu, but not the right angle for Toko Ekambi. He thought that was coming to him, and he's barking to Nuhu, saying, just leave that alone for me, please. Shots to 3, 7-1 shots on goal, 7 saves made. Davies Epassi might have another one coming up. There's Anthony working on Nuhu, rolls it back. Nuhu flies in with the tackle and able to bounce it off Bruno Guimaraes, out for a goal kick. Been playing on a yellow card since the 6th minute, Nuhu. Handball in there as they announce the attendance at 85,986 in the same stadium that will host the final 2 weeks from Sunday. And we're into the final quarter hour of the group stage. Brazil, as it stands, advancing as group winners. Switzerland, as it stands, joining them. It would take Serbia tying that game at 3. It's 3-2 right now. It would take Cameroon beating Brazil by 2 to change that. The other option is for Serbia to come from behind and win that game. Then they would go through. Brazil can end at least half of that potential chaos if they can take the lead here as Zambonguisa steps in to knock it away. Rigobert Song, the Cameroon manager, trying to find the answer right now. His team's World Cup hopes starting to get dim. Can they kickstart a wild, frantic finish? Toko Ekambi just to cycle it around to Zambonguisa. Brazil will make their final change as Rafinha will come on. Running forward by Ncham. Rides the challenge to Dani Alves into the middle. Choupo-Moting trying to lay it back. It was Bruno Guimaraes who tracked back defensively to end that sequence. to release Everton Ribeiro. Pedro's with him. Teammates for Flamengo in Brazil. Comes backwards instead. Bruno Guimaraes. No fouls, says American referee Ismail Elfaf. Gamalu was wide open on the far side for a moment there. Toko Ekambi on the run on Dani Alves. What a move! Jeez. Immediate help. Roll back inside. Chance for Ncham to let fly. And Anderson down for his second save of the night.
Well, this was a strike at the end of this. Excellent work from Toko Ekambi after sat Dani Alves down on the ground. Some wonderful individual skill, running to the back line. This game, you see every time Cameroon are in possession, Rigobert Song and their coach is saying, get up the field, get up the field. I mean, they have to go for it.
Intercepted by Toko Ekambi. Can't wriggle away from Dani Alves, but he's fouled. Cameroon going too quickly for the referee's liking. It'll be the final sub. Anthony's night is done. And Rafinha, who started the first two games, will come on as Brazil's fifth and final substitution tonight. Bongisa takes it short. Ncham will go to the far side. Onsfai deflected cross. Cameroon corner, just their second of the night. They got 10 minutes and change to find 2 goals and hope for help from Serbia. Carl Toko Ekambi to come across to take. Anderson with 2 saves tonight in his World Cup debut in goal for Brazil. Outswinging ball. Header only as far as Ncham. It's a Boubacar. Trying to curl, deflected shot. We'll do it again.
It's Dani Alves out there getting just the slightest touch. I thought even for a second as a Boubacar, sometimes you see those ones take that wicked deflection and then drop in behind the goalkeeper on frame. But they've been getting some good service from these set pieces.
Ekambi again. Off the bounce, popped in the air by Wu. Scramble of bodies to head it away. That's a great touch by Everton Ribeiro to settle it for Bruno Guimaraes, trying to play the outlet. Look at the speed. Gabriel Martinelli to get on the end of it, and he's just going to be hauled down by Vincent Boubacar.
Rugby tackled him here. Gets a little hug from Nuhu. I mean, great speed. Martinelli turned on the Jets. Watch this here. Tries to get him. Martinelli's clever. He gets in front, and then he pins him down at the end of this. One hand on the shoulder, a little trip, and then come here, man. Give me a hug.
Well, it's a superlative that Brazil don't need to have, but they could well have. If they were to get a goal, they'd be the only team to win all 3 games in the group stage. Potentially the only team to not allow a goal in the group stage as well. They want to sort of lay a marker down that they are indeed the favorites. They are indeed the team to beat. Even with some injury concerns and trying to get the engine going here in Qatar. Rafinha and Dani Alves stand over it. 7 saves tonight. Levise Bassi in goal for Cameroon. Alves, who sends it in, sent it right back out. 8 minutes to go, plus stoppage time in both games. Still Switzerland lead 3-2. Still they are advancing. They would still be even if Serbia tie the game. It would take Serbia winning that game or a tie there plus a Cameroon 2-goal win to change who advances to face Portugal in the round of 16 on Tuesday. Champ gets the return from Gamalu. Boangisa. Boubacar gets knocked away by Pedro. Marquinhos wide for Everton Ribeiro. Marquinhos lays it off. Bill Martinelli goes for a little dance, goes for a little spin, can't keep the ball. Alves, age of 39, oldest Brazilian ever played a World Cup. Sprinting inside to keep it. Bruno Guimaraes hands it off for Rafinha. Nuhu defending. Rafinha's got him to the byline, cuts it back, and that was a key block there. That was a wonderful chance. It was Wu that got his body in the way.
Yeah, what a great tackle. Something they've done well all night. Keep coming back to when Brazil have gotten in some good attacking spots. Cameroon laying it on the line, and Wu recognizes it. He actually comes off his man to get to the near post to make sure he's in a position to make that block to deny Guimaraes.
Tenth corner of the night. Rafinha outswinger. Boubacar hacks it away. But that first touch. Amalu then just wrestled to the ground so he can't escape. Guimaraes, who had that chance to score, denied a moment ago, gets a yellow card. Make a substitution. Nicola Gamalu, man just fouled, will come off. A World Cup debut for 24-year-old Jerome Golm, of the Cameroon-based players, formerly of Sporting Kansas City 2 in 2019, played one game for San Diego Loyal in 2020. Just made his debut ahead of this World Cup for Cameroon, so fun to see another guy with some U.S. soccer connections on the field here at this World Cup. Anderson, two good saves in this game, under some pressure there, ends up giving it back to Cameroon. They've got 5 minutes in stoppage time to find 2 goals, and for Serbia to get one as well. Gomes on the field, early cross sent away by Bremer. Just his second ever appearance for Brazil, getting to start tonight. His World Cup debut was miscontrolled and out. What's that man going to think of how his team's navigated this?
I think he'll be underwhelmed, but it's definitely, from a Brazilian perspective, no alarm bells ringing. They've coasted through this game. I think, again, though, their finishing has not been great. They've missed a lot of chances, but they're always going to get chances, and Richarlison right now is the hot hand for them.
It was Rafinha now, running at Nuhu. Some help there to send him back, clipped across to the far side. Martinelli brings it down into the middle, and it's Passy who was able to collect cleanly. Bruno Guimaraes couldn't either control for himself or find Pedro. But again, if you are South Korea, what are you thinking?
You're thinking you're going to have to put in a near-perfect performance to beat this Brazilian team. They're going to play on the counter a lot. Son Heung-min is going to be a big impact in that game. You saw the way in which they won their last game. Actually, it was because of him. Wang Yi-chan ends up getting the finish. He's a very talented striker, too. Korea have some good players, but their strength is in their collective and being disciplined defensively. I just don't think they have a defense good enough to keep this Brazilian attack out ultimately.
Rafinha Nuhu again pokes it away. And that's the other thing to think about. We talk about Brazil, but same for South Korea. Just a 3-day turnaround. I mean, they are going to be physically and mentally spent from what they did as Nuhu has gone down, and Cameroon do not have any more available substitutions to make. They've made 3 subs, but they've used all their windows. And what do South Korea have left in the tank? Or will their 91st minute goal to beat Portugal and to make the knockout round, will that end up being their World Cup moment? And it comes for Brazil. Chance for Pedro to turn and shoot. 17th shot of the night for Brazil.
It's just that composure, though. He does really well here. Watch when the ball comes into him, how he just gets his defender off balance with a little deception book, makes him think he's going to lay it off. And then he's leaning back, he's off balance, he's out of control, and strikes the ball uncharacteristically 15 feet over the crossbar. Kind of in the story for Brazil.
Everton Ribeiro on the run. Pedro looking to return, cut off and cleared.
Going to be interesting, that number of stoppages, isn't it?
In both games.
Yep.
I'll let you guess. I've seen the number. I don't think you have yet.
I haven't seen it yet. No, I don't know. I'm going to guess 7?
9.
9. Okay.
But that running on the outside. Golm got there, but Henderson's going to pick it up. Pierluigi Collina, legendary former referee when Brazil won the 2002 World Cup final against Germany, and he's the head of referees for FIFA now. Said the other day, you know, he gets it. He's hearing people talk about why is there so much stoppage time, and he said, we love it because it means we're playing the right amount of soccer. And he compared it to, you go to a concert and you get the encore, just more of what you love, right? Even if it can be stressful at times. Here's Gabriel Martinelli now for Brazil. Do they finally get one? It's stabbed behind by Wu.
Martinelli's been lively. This is where he's so good. Just 1v1, open space. Just has gotten continually past his man throughout the night. And then a number of good crosses into the box. Again, defended really well by Cameroon. That last-ditch defending from them has been on point all night.
11th corner for Brazil. Up in the air, and
that one too.
Cameroon, and if you're looking for moral victories, not the worst thing in the world to be able to say you held Brazil to a goose egg on the scoreboard at the World Cup. That's out for a throw. They're going to play 7 added minutes at Stadium 974 between Serbia and Switzerland. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, gotcha. And Nuhu seems to have an issue with his left shoulder. So he's going to have MLC come across and take the throw. So that probably means that that game will finish first at Stadium 974. Serbia need to come from behind to beat Switzerland if they are to advance. They led that one 2-1 in the first half. Switzerland right now, even in a draw, would be fine. It would only be if it finishes tied and Cameroon can find 2 goals to beat Brazil by 2. That Cameroon would advance and Switzerland would not go through. There's still technically all the other 3 teams in the group alive. Jerome Golm got the cross into Boubacar! Oh! Hold on, everybody! Also, Boubacar is going to get himself sent off quite possibly. He's on a yellow card. He takes the shirt off to celebrate.
This is going to be an interesting one.
Because they need one more. Do they realize they need one more?
They clearly don't, by the fact that he did that. Abubakar And Ismail Fath, the referee, has his yellow card out right now. He's going to get himself sent off. Wow. And he's just realized right now.
Well, Vincent Boubacar will celebrate his 35th career goal and a winning goal potentially in the World Cup against Brazil. It's going to be a walk-off winner because for taking his shirt off, he gets the yellow card, his second of the game.
Well, a terrific moment for him. Came off the bench in the last match, got a goal, and then this one, when it goes wide, Joan puts a great ball into the box. Takes a little hop up, but it allows him just to deliver a quality service, but still so much to do from there. Penalty spot, but because of the pace of the ball, it just means he just needs to redirect it. He doesn't have to try and force it, snap his head at it. You see how he just guides it in to that corner? Such a good header, and Ederson could just watch Brazil concede and Cameroon lead.
Cameroon need to score another and they need Serbia to score a tying goal. And they're now down to 10 men as that cross is stabbed away. So that's one of the more unique moments that will stand out in this World Cup here in Qatar.
Hey, look, if you're going to go home from a World Cup, score a goal, take your shirt off, get a yellow, and get out of here.
Question is, will it matter for Chichi in Brazil? Will it just be academics? Will it just be...
Yeah. Well, you know, you asked me what he would be thinking earlier. I said he would be underwhelmed. Now he might be a little upset after that and conceding the goal and losing this match. But not too dissimilar from what we saw from France. France rotated heavily, made big changes. They lose. Portugal make changes. They lose. Brazil make changes. They lose.
This would be a 7th win by an African team in a game at this World Cup. The previous high was 4 as Nuhu knocks it away. Still Switzerland advancing. Still beating Serbia with 2 minutes to go in that game. And it would mean Cameroon need a second goal and Serbia would have to tie the game for Cameroon to advance. Serbia would have to win that game coming from behind for them to advance. As that cross comes all the way through. Samuel Eto'o celebrating the goal. You saw him checking his phone, realizing it's not enough. Could have been enough had the result been different at Stadium 974, and that really would have been something.
But you know what? If this is the way they go out, and they'll hold their heads up high. You beat Brazil. You have 4 points in the tournament.
Still 3 minutes at least. Gabriel Martinelli. Cuts it back for Marquinhos. Lifted cross in, and the header saved. Et Passy, 8th save of the night. That one on Bruno Guimaraes.
He just gets under it too much. Guimaraes has had a lot of good looks at goal. He's been unable to execute or make the most of his chances in getting a look in this game.
Now there is another scenario, this final seconds here, final seconds in the other game. If Switzerland were to score another and Cameroon were to score another, it would flip the group and it'd be Brazil-Portugal round of 16. Time is getting very thin for that to happen.
You're saying there's a chance?
At this World Cup, there's always a chance as that comes in from Dani Alves. Marquinhos back in the middle, Marquinhos, and it's going to be all the way out. And I think to your point, as we take a look back at the replay, whatever else happens here, yes, we'll talk about who gets through from the group. I think it will also, as you're saying, be worth celebrating what Cameroon have accomplished here at this tournament, what African teams have accomplished at the tournament, and just for Cameroon celebrating this win for what it is on its own.
Yeah, I'm looking around the stadium right now, and there are small pockets of fans compared to the Brazilians, but they're having a party. Maybe some of them not sure they're not going through, but look, you're beating Brazil, man. This is the favorite for the tournament. This is a team that's been unbeaten in 17 matches straight, all competitions, and you're about to beat them in a World Cup.
It would be the first time Brazil loses a group stage match at a World Cup since they lost to Norway in 1998. It'd be their first loss in any game since the Copa America final against Argentina a year and a half ago. That cross is sent away by Nuhu. Wide it comes for Dani Alves. Cross in deep. Marquinhos off the chest, and it's a miss.
Oh, my goodness gracious. And it's Bruno Guimaraes again. Marquinhos so unselfish here to lay this one down. And he doesn't let the ball settle down. He tries to take it too soon, instead of getting up over the top of it and getting it into the ground. Oh, my goodness. He could have had a hat-trick in this game. How would Brazil not scored? And what a game Epassi has had in goal. A couple big-time saves from him.
They are still playing at Stadium 974. It will shock you to learn, Stu, there's a bit of a kerfuffle, apparently.
Weird.
Late in that one, as Switzerland continue to hold off Serbia 3-2, and it would be enough to see them through into the knockout stage in a meeting with Portugal. It's Brazil versus South Korea Monday as it stands. Cameroon just wants to celebrate this for what it is. A win over Brazil at the World Cup. Long run all the way through. Vincent Boubacar, 92nd minute. Walk-off winner as he's sent off for removing his shirt in celebration, his second yellow card, giving Cameroon one of the wonderful days in their entire sporting history. And Rigobert Song, national legend, will celebrate it. There's the final whistle. Cameroon have beaten Brazil. We're going to send you now to Jackie Oli and Warren Barton at Stadium 974 for the conclusion of Switzerland-Serbia as it finishes here at Lusail, iconic stadium. Cameroon 1, Brazil 0.
Oh, welcome to our viewers